Hi everybody and welcome to Photomikes Garage. Beside me is Winter the Jeep. That's what we've decided to call her, Winter the Jeep. And this is a 2014 Rubicon Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. And I think it looks awesome. Now at first I didn't like the white paint, but now it's growing on me. And I love the Rubicon wheels. I really do love the Rubicon wheels. I love the design. And these tires, you may have noticed, they're larger than the stock tire. Let's take a look at the stock tire. Okay, this is your stock tire that would come on a Rubicon. And the size is, let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Oh yeah, 255/75 R17. So we go over here to the tires I actually have. These are Open Country Toyos, mud and snow. These are awesome tires. I love them, they're fantastic. I've been off-road a couple times and they're great. Now the size of these is 285/70 R17. So the diameter is almost the same as the stock tire, but they're wider. They're wider. And you can see how wide that is. Okay, that's wide, and that's wider than that. So that's awesome. And it gives the Jeep a bit more of a chunky look, which is good. I like the chunky look. You can put, this is about the biggest tire you can have on the stock rim. Yeah, it makes the Jeep look more aggressive, but there is a problem. Okay, first of all, let's start this bad boy up and hear the roar of the 3.6 Pentastar. Yes. Now the Pentastar is a super engine, no mistake about that. It's reliable, it's great, everyone says so. But it does not sound good at all. Okay, we'll turn the wheel all the way to the right here so I can show you what the problem is. Okay, look how meaty these are. These are big, big, big tires. Big, big, big tires. And of course, now these are big tires and they rub on the sway bar right here. So at full turn, they rub right here. Not a lot, but a little bit there. Otherwise, they're fine. And of course, on this side, you can see even more clearly that it is rubbing right here, see? So it is rubbing, and I do have a solution to that, and that's right back here. Let's go back here, let's go back here, let's go back here. Okay. Okay, look at this box. That's right, that's right. We got some stuff, we got some stuff. Yes, so my solution to my rubbing problem is spacers. I'm gonna put spacers on the Jeep. These are very nice spacers. I got these on, where did I get these? Anyway, there'll be a link in the description below where you can get these. These were not expensive. These were about $150 for a complete set of 4 wheel spacers for the Jeep. So these are in the bolt pattern for the Jeep. They're hub centric, so they'll fit the hub on the Jeep properly. They are 1.5 inches wide. They're 1.5 inches wide. That's going to bring the whole thing out 1.5 inches, and that will take care of the rubbing problem. So the spacers are going to take care of my rubbing problem, but there's an added benefit. It'll increase the track. It'll widen the track, and just for aesthetics, I think it's going to make the Jeep look even better. It's going to bring the wheels out flush, or maybe a little bit more than flush to the fenders, and that's going to make it look even more aggressive. So I'm really looking forward to this very simple mod. I'm going to do it right now. It should only take me a short period of time, and then we're going to see the results. Okay, this is my first Jeep, and I'm not really sure exactly where I lift the wheels from. I've got my jack here, as you can see. Is there a lifting point like a car right here? I don't know. Yeah, I'm a real noob when it comes to Jeeps, of course. I guess I can just lift it from the differential right there. What do you think? Okay, my jack is at its highest lift and I only was able to lift up one tire. The other tire didn't go up. That's because, of course, the differential is offset to one side. In Jeeps, I should have known that, of course. So obviously I'm missing something here, but maybe I can just do one at a time. Okay, I got my wheel off. That was pretty heavy. And as we can see here, I want to sort of make sure that the whole mating surfaces for the spacer are nice and smooth. So I'm just going to go over this quickly to make sure there's no raised areas that would prevent this from seating perfectly flat, because we don't want to have any vibrations or stuff like that. So I'm just going to clean this up quickly. And also I think I'm going to paint some of these areas. I don't like this rust. So I'm going to paint and clean that up a little bit. I'm going to wire brush this off, the rust off, the scale off, and then I'm going to give it a coat of paint. Yeah. Okay, I think I did something wrong. I've got the spacer on, but as I rotate the spacer, I can see that even though I've got these both all snugged down at 100 foot-pounds, there seems to be a little unevenness, like a little space on one side. Space on the spacers, in other words. I don't know if you can see that. So basically, I think I'm going to take it off and take a look again, make sure that everything is seated properly. Okay, I made a rookie mistake. As you can see on the back of our spacer, we have these little cuts into the edges here. See these little shiny parts here? That is caused by these guys here. These are little retainers that hold the disc on when you take off this and everything else to keep the disc actually connected onto the hub. These things keep it in place, but they are hitting, as you can see, they are hitting the edges of the bolt hole in the spacer, preventing the spacer from fully seating on the face of the rotor. That is a mistake. That would have caused a little bit of imbalance, a little bit of wobble, and that would have been very annoying and potentially maybe dangerous too. So that's a rookie mistake. These have to be taken off and then you can put on the spacer. So don't make the same mistake. Look for any of these little retainer clips. A lot of cars don't have them. A lot of vehicles don't have them, but I have seen these before, and that's what that is. These have to be taken off. Okay, I just used a chisel to loosen these, and then these can be sort of worked off here. They sort of are on the threads here, so I can rotate this and loosen these right off. Okay, now that these are both off, now I believe the spacer will sit flat. So yeah, don't make the same mistake. Okay, the fronts are done, and as you can maybe see, I painted and got rid of some of the surface rust that was on the metal components. And now it's time to do the back. So I'm going to take my wire brush and just make sure there's no rust, to make sure that the wheel spacer fits smooth and flat on here. I'm also going to use the wire brush on the inside of the rim just to make sure that it's flat and there's no, rust. So that's what now in these rear rotors, there's no clips to hold everything onto the studs here, so you don't have to worry about that, just at the front. Now, as you can see, there's quite a bit of surface rust in here as well. I'm going to try and get that looking better as well. And I'm going to paint the calipers. I know that's kind of a ghetto thing to do, just paint the calipers, but I want to do it. I think it'll add a little bit of customization. And I'm going to do it very simply. I'm going to do it actually when it's on the rotor. I know that's sort of against the rules, but I don't care. I'm going to do it. Another thing I use is anti-seize, which you can get anywhere. And this just ensures that the bolts will come off someday when I want them to come off. Okay, as you can see, the rear spacers are on. You can see that's quite a difference. It's going to make quite a difference. I've also cleaned some of the rust scale off and painted everything just to make everything look a little bit like brand new, don't you think? Now I'm going to paint the calipers. And yeah, I'm going to do them right on the rotor and use paper to cover everything. Trust me, it'll be fine. But of course, first of all, torque your spacers on each one of these bolts. I'm torquing it to 110 foot-pounds. Let the hate comments begin. Oop. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Now, doesn't that look a lot better? Look at that. Now, you can't really see the brake calipers too well with the wheels on, but still, that's a little extra touch. Got all the rust off, everything painted with a semi-gloss black. I think this looks pretty darn good. Spacers on, just got to put the wheel on and we're good to go. Now, I know this is not the proper way to paint your calipers, so I already know that, but as you know, I'm quite lazy. And so this is the way I'm going to do it. Now all you got to do is rotate these rotors a little bit, and there's a little bit of paint that got on the rotors. You just clean that off with a little bit of mineral spirits, you'll be fine. Okay, all tires are on, all tight. Just got to lower the Jeep. All right, everybody, the job is done. The spacers are on, and right away you can see that this Jeep is more aggressive. The wheels are just slightly proud of the fender, while before they were sunken in. It's got a wider stance at the back too as well. At the back, you can see that the tires are just proud of the fender, and that makes the whole vehicle look way more aggressive. This is about as aggressive as I think you can get with a stock ride height and with stock wheels, stock Rubicon wheels. So this is basically an unmodified Rubicon 2014, and I say that this is a success. Okay, the spacers are done. I've got some paint work done inside there. You can see the blue caliper. You can barely see it, but there's the blue caliper. And at the front, there you go, blue caliper. Just a little touch and everything is painted. The rust is taken care of. And let's check and see if it hits the sway bar like it used to. Now remember, it used to hit right there on this side. There's a sway bar, used to hit there. Let's turn the steering wheel and see if it hits. Okay, as you can see, there's a ton of room, That's not gonna hit at all. So it's great on both sides. The job is done. All right, everybody, the job is done. I'll have a link below where you can get the wheel spacers that I used on eBay. And basically, you can do everything I did, except that's not the proper way to paint your calipers, but I don't really care. Make sure you torque down the wheel spacers and the wheels, and also make sure that the contact surfaces between the spacer and the hub is smooth and that everything is seated down properly. Start all the nuts, all the lug nuts by hand first before you tighten them up, and there you go, and your Jeep will look cool like mine.